Anti-Afro Svengalis. I have a core question I need to ask. See if you can solve the riddle. But before I do that, I want to make sure everyone is aware that Umar Johnson finally mentioned Dumpsey D. Derell after Dumpsey D. Derell gave Umar Johnson, throughout all these years, $10,000 plus. Umar never uttered his name. They met once at some event in Texas and there was a fist pump, but Umar ignored him after that. Dumpsey became increasingly frustrated, but he kept giving money, hoping Umar would mention him. He never did. So it was $10,000 plus. But he finally got his wish. I want to let you hear what Umar said. Stay tuned and I will return.
You don't need that Viagra. That Viagra gonna kill you. Black men, over 40, over 50, over 60, you don't need Viagra. Get the maca root. And you will be Shangolicious. And you will be Shangolicious for your queen. And you will be Shangolicious for your queen.
Well, Dumpsey D. Derell finally got his wish. Let me tell you this. That's not the only problem Dumpsey D. Derell has. And let me put it to you this way. Every single time Dumpsey went on the attack, he would spread all these horrendous, vicious lies about others. And it included, a lot of times, bullshit about their sex lives. He doesn't even know any of these people, but he would make statements about their sex lives, saying they can't please their wives. We always knew something was up. We didn't know what it was until Tiff P came out and confirmed that Dumpy has a floppy junk problem. Hijacked his YouTube page and put the pills that he uses to try to get a hold of that floppy junk problem. She put it on his page or had someone do it. So there's the answer to why Dumpsey runs around making up these lies about others. But we're not going to leave it at that because it comes down to the core question that I have. What is the reason that Dumpsey and these other freaks insist on saying over and over and over again that we are irrelevant, we're not important, nobody cares what we have to say, what we do? But here we have again yet another live stream where they're talking about who? The irrelevant people. Stay tuned and I will again return.
I don't know, man. But this is not the first time this shit has happened. This shit has happened with other people. I don't know what people think they accomplishing by putting them on the panel like it's some fucking life, fucking long goal or achievement or some shit.
That's
This
what was
nigga,
embarrassing to me. The way Pills was fanning out, I'm like, oh my God. What the
this
fuck?
nigga act like she was a whole fucking celebrity. Thought Rev G was like the second. I'm like, man, I that shit was sickening, man. I just had to turn that shit. I'm like, these niggas here, man. Like, see, this the bullshit that's why I be talking shit to some of these people in the sector because they do this kind of shit that be fucking with me, man. That's why I leave and I come and go, take a break because of bullshit like this. First, I was gonna start off calm, then I was gonna end up cursing everybody out. That's exactly what was gonna fucking. I was gonna go off. Trust me, oh nigga, I was going to go off. And she's gonna do it. I'm gonna call the FBI. You threatening me? Talking about somebody threatened to cut her throat and I like and they talking about taking somebody's teacher certs and all this other shit. Like this nigga lost his job 3 fucking times. 3 fucking times. And you still ain't learned. And then she running. She go get a job. And as soon as somebody find out about that job, she leave. She leave. She probably not working right. Well, ass probably retired, not because she over 65. Like, fucking, at this point, like, who got the fucking time to be arguing with y'all? Nobody mentioned, like, if you go around the sector, when Triggs do his live, nobody talking about them. We talking about other people in the sector. I go live. I may mention them to make fun, but I don't even do that a lot. Divine don't really mention them like that.
Absolutely not.
Stephen don't mention them. Propane don't really mention them. Nobody really mentioned these. Carrie Ann don't mention these motherfuckers unless Rev G said something about her that she got to respond. Because that's just the kind of person she is. She gonna respond if you say some shit about her. But she don't go around. And everybody, I know everybody can. Carrie Ann's very controversial, but she don't really go around fucking with them like that. She don't go picking fights with. She may pick fights with other people. Photon or somebody else, but she don't go pick and fight. Nobody give a fuck what these people say.
Are you saying that Carrie Ann is scared of them?
You scared of them?
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
I don't know what he is.
No, I'm talking about Carrie Ann. Not you calling Carrie Ann.
No. Carrie Ann not scared of them. No. Carrie Ann ain't scared of shit. I thought you meant pills. But nah, Carrie Ann ain't scared. She don't really, she talk about other shit that, with other people in the sector. She'll talk about, man, she didn't talk about Photon. She'll talk about, what's his name? TMK Media on some shit. She'll talk about my ass if I say something that she don't like. She ain't talking about them. Don't even mention them. Unless, usually it's Rev G saying the dumb shit.
When it comes to Dumpsey D. Derell, it starts, it continues, it never ends when it comes to lying. That's all he does. I left the names in that he rattled off for a reason, to illustrate the point, again, that he's lying and saying those subjects don't do content on us. They always do content on us, including that host who deleted that live stream. And you heard who was the subject. Who were they talking about? They were talking about us, and thinks because the live stream is deleted, that means that she wasn't hosting a live stream talking about us. And it wasn't the first time, multiple times. Hosting live streams, talking shit about us. Do I give a damn what a colonizer flunky thinks? Hell no. I'm just illustrating the point. Because you delete a live stream, it means you're not talking about us? I don't even know who the hell this fool is. Never even mentioned this fool's name. But she has our name in her mouth. Gerald even went over there and confronted her. And she blocks him. So, yes, we are very much aware that you're running your raggedy ass mouth about us. Do we give a damn? No. Illustrating the lie. I don't care about a colonizer flunky. That's why I never mentioned it before. But she does content on us. Obviously, we know Carrie Ann does content. Carrie Ann came into that Umar Johnson sector talking all kinds of shit about everybody, including us. And Dumpsey D. Derell, he went on for how long doing content about us? And we ignored him for the longest until we had to set him straight because of his harassment. May 2024, Dumpsey, go ahead and tell him what happened in May 2024. He was so out of control. He's had to been put in his place multiple times. That's why he's so pissed. He's the one who ruined his career because he wouldn't stop harassing people. And Rage Pigs, we got multiple live streams as well. Every single subject that Dumpsey lied about, not talking about us, talks about us, and we have the live streams to prove it. Just document the fact very clearly. When it comes down to it, when we decide to start defending ourselves, you have these subjects whining and crying and pitching fits, lying about being harassed and targeted when they started shit. So that colonizer flunky over there has been talking about us for well over a year and sat up there and lied. You all know that she's lying because you know she's talking shit about us because you've been over to her page. Now, the people that rock with us, they don't bother with this fool. I don't care about this fool. Unless this idiot decides to step over the line, then I will take care of business. I don't give a damn that she lives in another country. I will have a way of dealing with that as well. In the meantime, I'm not going to give a shit. Dumpsey D. Derell ran around here calling my friends all kinds of registered sex offenders, child molesters, when he's married to a damn child abuser. Yeah, Latasha Nicole Spears is a child abuser. She is on the registry for abusing a child, your child, her child. He's up here calling everybody fat. What do you think about a 185-pound female wailing on a 5-year-old? That's what Dumpsey's wife did. The nerve to get your ass up here and say anything about anybody when you are married to a child abuser. This is the reason why he runs around here talking shit about everybody, because he hates the fact that what he's lying about when it comes to everybody else is truth about him. What the hell is he talking about? A celebrity? A celebrity? Who is up here talking about somebody who's not even mentioning him? Those subjects that he mentioned, including him. Why are you continuing to talk about us if you're so damn pissed off? If it bothers you so much that everyone's talking about us, why are you talking about us? You're the one front and center. You just did a live stream on us. But he's pissed that people are talking about us. You're part of the problem that you're complaining about. Does this make any sense? For how long was he running his mouth and we ignored him? Did I ever say that Dumpsey D. Derell threatened to cut my throat? Did I say it was Dumpsey D. Derell? Did I say that? No, I didn't. But guess what? Dumpsey D. Derell called the police on me. Yes, he did. If Dumpsey D. Derell feels he needs to call the cops, he can call the cops. But guess why he called the police on me? Because I filed a complaint against him. Okay. You feel that's a criminal offense? Let the cops handle it. That's what he did. He went and he filed a police report and said I filed a complaint against him. Then he filed a police report on Remix because Remix called his office filing a complaint against him. That's what Dumpsey D. Derell, so the nerve of him to run around crying about people who call the police. He actually filed what I would consider to be a false police report. I have a right to file a complaint against him. But he went to the police department and broadcast it and told them, hey, she's filing complaints against me. And he came and reported, the cops told him, there's nothing we can do about that. If you want to talk about misusing resources in the justice system, I think that would qualify. See, he has to come up here and tell lies in order to get attention. He can't come up here and tell the truth about anything and make it anything relevant or actionable because it's not. And getting so upset about what others think about us and getting so upset because others decide they want to treat us with common courtesy and decency. Does that make any sense? Well, yeah, I guess it does make sense. When you're someone like Dumpsey D. Derell, getting angry because we're speaking the truth. He's running around here talking about people's financial situation. What proof does he have? He has no proof, but we have proof. Everything that we say about Dumpsey D. Derell, we have proof. And now he's finally admitting he had that tax lien, that $130,000 tax lien that he kept lying about. Now he's finally admitting it. Don't forget, I'm going to remind you, Dumpsey was the one that ran around here starting lies, telling lies about everyone, and we decided to tell the truth about him and his child-abusing wife. I didn't even go look for that information. Someone brought that information to me. After all these years, he's been talking all kinds of shit and lying about our families. It never even crossed my mind to go looking for information about Dumpsey's wife. Someone brought that to me. I'm like, well, what do you have here? Are you serious? A child abuser? And he's been running around calling my friends registered sex offenders and lying about it? Saying they beat their wives and lying about it? While all this time, he's been married to a child abuser. Again, violating the law by having her work in his office, the nerve of him to open his mouth about anybody. And then talking about people's sex lives. Talking about people's sex lives, we knew there was a problem. Any dude running around here talking about other people's spouses sexually, you know, is not getting any action. We knew something was, I shouldn't say up, something was down. Yeah, we knew he had a floppy junk problem. We just didn't know the details. You had to have a floppy junk problem. Running around here, always having other people's spouses and girlfriends' names in your damn mouth. Then Tiff P came out and told us what was going on. He's got a floppy junk problem. And the pills ain't working. Why in the hell is that Gerald Palmer's problem? Why is that Lennon Honor's problem? Why is that Taz's problem? This fool came up and said Nyla called him on the phone and wanted him to harbor her in his house in Texas. What kind of crap could somebody even conjure up in their brain? What kind of crazy shit is that? That is coming from the fact that his life is in turmoil. He's making up all these lies about their family life and their sex life. All the while, he was talking about himself. Just relatively recently, because he's had all these financial problems, Latasha moved back in the home, but they don't even stay in the same bedroom. Then he says, you ain't giving your wife any. No, they don't even sleep in the same bedroom. He's the one with the floppy junk problem, but he's running around pretending that everyone else has the problem when he has the problem. Yes, it is true. He's got massive financial problems, verified financial problems. He has stolen money. He has been cold busted. That's the proof he has financial problems. He was the one that gave Umar Johnson all that money. He had to steal to give that money to Umar Johnson. He spent all his time on YouTube flexing with stolen money while telling everyone else that they don't have any money. Now, all of a sudden, I have money when he told everybody I've been broke all this time. I live in a trailer and I stole money from a dad that's not even mine. All these cockamamie, wild stories he would come up because he was talking about himself. He had to break down and drive people around to medical appointments. Okay, great. You got people to medical appointments. They needed to go. I'm not knocking that work. But that's what he was doing to make ends meet. He was stealing money. He was hiring people so he can get a hold of their billing information so he could submit fake billing and false billing, although he wasn't seeing clients. That's documented. I'm not making that up. He got busted for doing it. But he says everybody else has financial problems? No, that means you've got money problems if you're stealing. You got cold busted, but everybody else has got financial problems. Why is he giving $50 cash apps? He used to give $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. Now he's giving paltry $50 and $100 cash apps while he's running around saying that everyone else has financial problems. And I love it how he just has to add years onto my age. How am I 65 years old? Wasn't I 65 years old 5 or 6 years ago? Shouldn't I be 70 or 71 now, since I was supposed to be 65 5 or 6 years ago? I think it's bizarre how they like to add years on to everyone else, but they either stay the same age or they get younger. But check this out. It's a boomerang effect because they got all these health problems. They have all the health problems of those that they claim are so old. But they've got bad knees, bad ankles, bad backs, tremors, strokes, beer bellies. He's up there saying, oh, I had to lose 25 pounds. Oh my God, I had to take the weight off. And hey, don't get me wrong. The nation has a weight problem. Isn't it something like 65% of U.S. citizens or the U.S. population is considered to be obese? So he wouldn't be the only one. There's no knock on that if he loses 25 or 30 pounds. But he says everybody is fat except for that wife of his. That wife of his is at least 185 pounds who wailed on their 5-year-old. But he's calling everyone else fat. He says Tiff P is what? Nell Carter. This is the woman who, I don't, listen, folks, if you ever believe they had any actual sex, no, because he even said it on the voicemail. No penetration, no penetration. I'll make you come with no penetration because it already is a done deal. He can't do anything. That floppy junk problem is real. And you can tell by the cheeks it's likely diabetes. I don't think that works again if it's diabetes. The pills weren't working, so he continues to target other people and say that they have the floppy junk problem when he has the floppy junk problem. And losing the weight didn't help. But he has to run around and talk about how so-and-so ain't getting none, their wife ain't getting them none. He's talking about himself. They don't even sleep in the same bedroom. He's talking about fat, you're fat, but he's got a wife that's 185 plus pounds. And he's not happy. He's always trashing someone else's spouse and girlfriend. And if he doesn't like what you say or do, he starts talking about your body parts, especially if you're a dude. And now he's up here mad because people decide to ask someone to come on a panel. And he got up there. So what if you're mad? Who gives a shit if you're pissed off? Like I would really talk to you anyway. I wouldn't talk to Dumpsey. I already said that. I already did what needed to be done with Dumpsey. Dumpsey is a freak. That's the bottom line. Dumpsey is a stalker. He didn't know when to quit, when he should have quit a long time ago, sexually harassing people, slandering people, and he got just what he deserved. And then some. Then he's a thief. He's the one running around here stealing money from the feds, Medicaid fraud. His house is underwater, tax liens. And then he's telling everyone else that they've got financial problems and telling lies like you wouldn't believe. And as far as this Carrie Ann situation, I got to do another video on that. Carrie Ann is a coward. There is a difference between being stupid and being brave. To come onto the YouTube, just like Dumpsey, and put your professional life out here in the open, lay it bare for people to slaughter you. That's what Dumpsey did. I didn't do that. I kept my professional life separate. I don't give a damn what Dumpsey says about my professional life. He's full of shit. And I insulated myself. You can go and call whoever you want. You be telling nothing but lies. I'm not going to get punished for lies. We told the truth. The truth can be proven. They're saying what they are saying. They are doing what they are doing. It's a done deal. You're not going to get me in trouble for something that never happened. You're not going to get Rev G in trouble for something that never happened. 3 jobs. He got fired from 3 jobs now. Continue to tell your lies. He's thriving and continues to thrive. I'm thriving and continue to thrive. Dumpsey's lost contracts. He's probably losing even more contracts because he's talking about other people's financial situation, which means he's the one in dire straits. He can continue coming up with all these lies, acting like a child because someone else says something about us that's not negative and abusive. What kind of crap is that? He wants it to be negative and abusive and gets pissed because someone is not attacking someone. Stupid. That is ridiculous. But that's what he is. Mad because people are seeing right through the facade that he's a freaking phony. And he's running out of money. He's too afraid to steal. He was stealing before and thought he could get away with it until he got busted. He's too afraid to risk it. But I think he's getting desperate, and now he's worried about when are they going to catch me from all the other thievery that they haven't uncovered. I'm quite sure. He's the male version of Letitia James. Eventually, your shit is going to catch up to you. Don't blame us. We're not responsible for the shit that Dumpsey has done. Now he's trying to drag us into all his bullshit and talk about us in these other spaces. That's not going to make any difference. We don't know the people in the other spaces. You sound like a fool. And they already saw right through him. crash and burn, just like his businesses have crashed and burned. And he thinks he can give people advice on business? Business of failing? Fail, like Stargate said. Fail. That's what he can do. He can give you advice on how to fail in the most epic way. Sure shot. Folks, I got more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.